Hey everybody, it's a Monday, and that means Monday Lore Talks. Sorry about last week, things kind of fell apart, but we're back. We're doing things, and today we're going to be talking about the Horde, and why Thrall probably needed a better PR guy than what he had, because not the best. Not the best. But before we get into all that, I have a little bonus that I want to throw out there for you guys. And I just got done completing the Illidan quest chain with my Demon Hunter. And I've seen this part before. I've seen it several times because I have a lot of alts who all have finished this part. But it's been weird for me every single time I've done it, and there's been one big issue that's been always bothered me about this quest chain. And I'm going to let you guys watch. And you can let me know.
The Well of Eternity. I am not one for sentiment, but if anything embodies my commitment to Azeroth, it is the font of power I created so long ago. But enough dwelling on the past. The crystal I left for you to find holds not 2 messages, but 3. The last is for you, champion. You have proven your commitment to Azeroth. Your dedication, your sacrifice, rivals my own. But more will be asked of you. So much more. Even now, enemies gather, and the shadows grow darker. From this day forward, the defense of our world, of all we hold dear, rests with you.
Alright, that's it. That's scene I'm sure many of you have seen. And Nathan, can you guess why this scene is always bothered?
Because he straight out says the shadows are growing darker and your defense of the world is now turned to you. He's basically saying that there's something bigger than what you just took down after you'd taken down Sargeras.
It's not that.
I don't know.
Not that at all. Anybody else want to take a stab? No one, huh? Alright, so what has bothered me about this scene, and it's bothered me for a real long time. Alright, so is what do you see? What has bothered me about this scene? Buddy Young, and it's bothered me for a real long time. Alright, Rhonda is what do you see? What has bothered me about this scene? Buddy Young, and next to the well of eternity. Alright, Rhonda kind of just howling around. What has bothered me good time? Buddy Young, and next to the well of eternity. Alright, Rhonda kind of just fucking howling around. What has bothered me good time? Buddy Young, and next to the well of eternity. Alright, Rhonda kind of just fucking howling around. What has bothered me good time? Buddy Young, well, next to the well of eternity. Alright, Rhonda kind of just fucking howling around. What has bothered me good time? Buddy Young, eating, next to the well of eternity. Alright, Rhonda kind of just fucking howling around. What has bothered me good time? Okay, sorry about that. God, here we go again. Here we go again. Sorry, we have to pause the stream for a second because that's gonna fuck everything up. So just
Let's see if this. Yeah.
hold on. We're holding. We're still recording though, so don't worry. Got you.
Was because he had 2.
I popped it up so I can see if there's anybody in chat, but there's not. So all alone.
Okay.
Hey there, lonely boy.
All right.
We're back in action now.
At least wasn't the Martians from Mars attacks again.
Yeah. Okay, so can you hear me yet?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so what has always bothered me is that these three are sitting by the well of eternity, hanging out, having a good time, and never happened. When Illidan made the well of eternity for the second time, when he poured the vials under the tree and all the rest of that shit. Well, when he poured the vials and he made the second well of eternity, what happened to Illidan?
He was already blinded and had the tats, and
That motherfucker was imprisoned by his own brother. His brother said, "What the fuck did you just do?" and imprisoned him. Tyrande had no problem with it. They both imprisoned him for 10,000 years right when he did this. At no time did they sit at a bench and have a good old time about it. Point at it and say, "Yeah, this is great. I love this. This is amazeballs." Never. So, it makes me wonder, because Illidan has always been like a little fucking loose cannon, does what he's gonna do, no excuses, no remorse. Does it go deeper than that? Do we leave the fate of Sargeras to a fucking madman? Because he's remembering things, because we're seeing his memory of something that never happened. And while I was looking at this, I was like, well, playing devil's advocate with myself. I'm sitting there going, alright. Maybe he's remembering a time they all sat at a bench one time and hung out and had a good time. And it just happens to be projected as a Well of Eternity.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, why did we go to the Well of Eternity? We just liberated Suramar. We could have gone to any bench in Suramar where they all grew up and had a good old time at a bench before they all got altered, before Malfurion became a druid, before Illidan became a demon hunter.
I don't know.
It's really weird, man. It's always bugged me. Every single time I saw it, I'm like, why are we seeing this? They could have had you take it anywhere else, and why did he have you leave this crystal at the Well of Eternity?
So we got Illidan, who is possibly really, really mentally unstable.
Yes.
Left with Sargeras.
Yes.
Who's supposed to be keeping him there.
Yes. Who gave us a stone to leave at the Well of Eternity. He just said, hey, leave it there. And that's what we just did. We just left it on the bench. And we saw the nice little vision of something that never happened.
No, but I'm saying the guy, so could Sargeras sway Illidan at some point to let him go?
I'm saying that fucking there's something wrong with Illidan Stormrage, which is obvious. Well, but to say that there's something not weird going, unless this is just a big fuck up on Blizzard's side, which is not uncommon.
Yeah.
Which is not uncommon. This could have been like, you know, I also thought it was weird that we picked up the soul of Illidan after killing Hylia?
Yeah.
In the Trial of Valor. Like, what, he died in Outland. Did his soul just migrate over to Hylia? Just, you know, whatever. Fuck it. I'm not going to think about it too much because that's too much. I'm not even going to bother with that shit, alright? We're not going to deal with it. I'm not dealing with it. All I'm going to do, I'm pointing it out. I'm pointing it out. Because it weirded me out. I figured, fuck it, I'm going to let everybody else weird out. It's weird. It's just weird. That's all I wanted to. I wanted to bring attention to it because you know I don't see anybody talking about it. I don't hear anybody talking. It just weirded me out, and it always has. This is like the fucking 6th time that I've done this, and it weirds me out every single time. Because at the first time I'm like, oh look, they're all having a good time on the bench. But what? Why? At this bench? Right here? Right there.
Yeah.
Where that was, yeah. Where this was enough for him to be in prison for 10,000 years. Until the next demon invasion. When they decided to release him.
Yeah.
Weird, I'm just saying, weird shit, bro. Weird shit. But that's not what we're here today.
We're here to talk about the Horde.
The Horde. Alright, last week we talked about the Alliance. And, you know, we gave him the business. Because the Alliance is whatever, but the Horde isn't evil. And how are we gonna get started? Alright, so let's get out of this lovely little serene spot and we roll. So, for those of you who don't know, the orcs lived in Draenor. Peacefully-ish. Just being orcs. They doing what they do. Lived in tribes. And the tribes based their life and culture and society based on the environment that they decided to call home. And one day, Draenei show up on the planet, and you know things are not perfect, but you know they make it work. Shit happens, but they make it work. And kill Jaden, who's always chasing down the Draenei. His agent finds them on Draenei and says, "Yo, we can use these orcs." What?
audio stopped for a second.
Oh, are we back?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the orcs get used by Killdrain. Killdrain hits up Nerzul, who is the chieftain of the Shadow, head of the Draenic, the shamanism order on all of Draenor. The shamans are like, they're like dudes that can go from clan to clan and not be bothered, not be molested. They have a lot of respect. They're the religious leaders. They're just, you know, whatever. Every clan has their own shaman, but shamans can go from place to place and not be bothered, even when clans are at war, because shamans they're neutral-ish. So they go to the head of the shamans. Killdrain goes to the head of the shamans and says, "Hey, I'm gonna appear to you as my dead wife." Well, a bunch of anyway. What happens is he tricks him into fighting the Draenei, convinces him that the Draenei are bad, need to get killed. So he gathers all the clans together and convinces them to form the Horde and fight the Draenei. And that's when Killdrain starts using Gul'dan, Nerzul's apprentice, because
did Nerzul start realizing that maybe not a good idea to talk?
Things are not right. So he starts realizing things are not right, but it's already too late. So he's
But he backs away.
He backs away. So that's when he uses. Oh my! Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, Nerzul starts realizing things are off and not right. Then Kil'jaeden, so then Kil'jaeden decides to turn to Gul'dan, who is, at the time, Gul'dan is Nerzul's apprentice, and decides to. Gul'dan is just, well, always been Gul'dan. He's in it for power. So he's like, yeah, totally understand that you're not on the level, but I don't care. I want the power. And so, Gul'dan just basically sells out the Horde. Basically give himself more power. So yeah, start. So, Gul'dan.
Okay, where are you at?
I just got to the point where Gul'dan.
Anyways, Gul'dan becomes the right-hand man of the Legion, starts leading the Horde in a direction that manipulating them from the shadows in order to guide them where Killdrain wants them to be, which is the death and murder of every single Draenei on the planet, because Killdrain's been there's. So he starts corrupting them, starts exposing them to Fel. They destroy. They just start murdering all the Draenei, and they run across it. They do a pretty good job of murdering everybody. So that's when. Sorry, I keep getting people trying to get into access to telephone lines in my yard. So I apologize about that, people. I'm sorry. So anyways, they have to invade Satrap and they don't have enough strength. So that's when Gul'dan sends Manarok, give his blood to the orcs, and completely corrupt them. But the point is that the Horde would never have existed, never been put into action, if it weren't for the demons leading them. They only united once, they never called themselves a Horde. So the Horde is the brainchild of the demons in the first place. And they get whipped up more and more and more and more to a demonic frenzy. Just being nasty folk, right? So they get turned into demon slaves and get inspired to start the first war. we talked plenty about the first war. I don't fucking feel the need to go back in. But when the orcs first come into Azeroth, they are basically demon frenzied,
bloodthirsty,
lost to their ability to kind of control themselves or rationalize or do anything really beside the desire to kill. They are so bad that when they go, according to the Chronicle, they go through the portal, Black Hands leading, that the Warsong clan is too savage to be controlled. The Laughing Skull are too savage to be controlled. The Shattered Hand are too savage to be controlled. And he takes only those that are not so crazy killing each other. I think including the Bone Shore are also too crazy. So he takes all the clans that he knows he can control, brings them through the portal.
Basically all the clans that you saw on Hellfire Peninsula when you went to Outlands.
Exactly. All the clans that were... So, when you go into Outland for the first time and you're stuck in that nasty red zone and you're fighting Shattered Hand, Bone Chewer, you're fighting... Those are all the guys that got left behind. So, fast forward to the end of the first war. And Gorfiend, the Death Knight, comes back and lets all the remaining orcs know, including Ner'zhul, hey, we lost, bros, we're fucked. And Draenor's died. Sorry. Draenor's died, and they decide they need to get the fuck out of there. So they go on, they finish up the Second War, they finish up the expansion for Beyond the Dark Portal. Draenor gets destroyed. We've all been there. We've all been held up. We all know stuff going on there. Fast forward to Thrall. God, I feel like Thrall's being beaten to death at this point. But we're at there. Thrall, he meets Ogre. Now, I'm going to rewind a little bit because Ogre is really, really big deal. And if there is any sense to any of the shit that Thrall did when he crossed that ocean and he made Orgrimmar, he started naming everything inside after all of his favorite heroes of the Horde, it would be this guy. Because this guy realizes that the Horde is being manipulated. He realizes that the Horde is being controlled by demons. And what does he do? He murders all the Shadow Council, which are all the Gul'dan's butt buddies. He murders them all. Says, you're not doing any more Fel shit. To Gul'dan, the Fel poster child, is not allowed to use Fel. He says, I'll keep you around, because you convinced me by making Death Knights, which is necrotic magic, which is a different kind of magic, because he knows Fel's destroys everything. And he is in Azeroth, he sees this, and he sees how the Fel is starting to corrupt this new planet, and realizes he can't go back home. He already killed the former war chief Blackhand. And if it weren't for Ogrim, the Horde would have lost all sense and completely descended into blackness. And he realizes that he needs to keep this Horde together. He cannot let the Horde go. He knows the Horde, in its original iteration, is a bad thing, and he does whatever it takes to stop them from plunging into complete madness. So if it weren't for him, things would have gotten a lot worse than what we got. He is the one driving force that puts any sort of semblance of control, of self-respect, and honor into the Horde. But the Horde was never a good thing. It was never a proper, balanced thing. It was just, we need to keep this shit together. We need to make a home here. We got to keep pressing forward. We need to stop using Fel because we don't want to destroy our new home, which is the whole fucking reason they came here in the first place. After the Legion tricked them. I don't want to make it sound like it's a bad party trick or a musician. I'm a magician. Tricks a crowd of 5-year-olds, but they got manipulated and fucked over into doing all this shit. And they know their home is dying. The Fel is completely destroyed their home now. And the Fel is starting to destroy their new home, which is the reason they came here. So they have to stop it. So they stop it. Ogrim is the only reason any of that happens. And when Ogrim is defeated, outside of Black Rock. Not Black Rock. Is it called Black Rock on this side?
Yeah, it's Black Rock on this side.
God damn it. Wow,
Yeah.
and they're redundant phrases.
Yeah.
And right in front of Black Rock, when he is defeated, like we talked about in the last video, all semblance of order is lost. All solidarity is crushed. The clans start to shatter, and they become crushed one by one, with a few remaining outposts here and there where they don't get completely annihilated, but they get completely taken up, put into internment camps. He's not. Well, Ogrim wasn't killed. He gets captured. He's defeated. Sorry again. Thank you, dogs, for saving our lives. Hey.
So they get put into internment camps where the orcs just kind of lose the will to live for while they're in there.
So while on the other side they find out their homeland is destroyed, there's no place to go back to. They're crushed, there's no leadership, there's nothing. So the Horde isn't even the Horde. The Horde got crushed right there when Ogrim got captured. And when Ogrim gets free, he meets up with the various remaining not captured clans and starts liberating camps. And that's when Thrall, he gets out, meets up with Ogrim, and basically becomes Ogrim's student. Learns everything he fucking can from Ogrim while going from camp to camp, freeing more orcs. And that's when Ogrim gets struck down. He says, "Take my armor, take my hammer. These will be your symbols of leadership. Unite the clans and free them." So, Thrall is being pumped full of these misconceptions about the Horde because he's talking from a single source. Maybe a couple. He's talking to it with his heroes and his buddies. He's talking with Drakthar, who teaches him shamanism, who, while all this shit was going down, became a full-fledged, balls-to-the-walls warlock. Hate to break it to you, but every single orc shaman became a warlock. So they all are sacrificing Draenei for more power, doing incredible, horrible war crimes and nasty things under the demon influence like everybody else. But these guys are a little bit deeper. So even Drakthar, the shiny blind, everybody's favorite shaman teacher of Thrall, was a warlock. He did bad things. Every single orc that was in the first and second war all did horrible, horrible, horrible things. So at no time should Thrall be if Thrall had seen what would happen firsthand, like Atron, like Doomhammer, like, well, you can't really say like his buddy Grom. Because Gromesh, what did he do? He wasn't allowed to fight in the first war because his clan was too fucking nuts.
He was the first one to drink the demon blood.
He was the first dude to drink the demon blood. He's like, yeah, demon blood. Goes fucking batshit crazy. Too crazy to fight in the first war. He's utilized and beyond the dark portal. He escapes through the portal before it breaks loose and just starts running around like a crazy marauder until he meets up with Ogrim again. So it's not like fucking Gromesh has a very good perspective of what happened. And he gets proven in the fact when you play Warcraft 3, what does this fucker do?
He drinks again.
He drinks again. This guy did not learn his lesson.
Then you have to actually take him down and...
You fight him, you kill the Warsong clan, because they all drank the demon blood twice, turning into the Fell Orcs. You save him, and then he sacrifices himself, killing Manaroth, and freeing them from the bloodlust. And that uncontrollable rage that drove them. Which is supposed to be what was the major story arc. But they kept, for some reason, they decided to keep that in, so that even if you play as an orc, one of your racials is bloodlust. But that uncontrollable rage they got when they drank the demon blood, that thing that made it so they couldn't stop. They were compelled to violence. They borrowed very heavily from a Warhammer 40k of the World Eaters, where if you know anything about 40k and the World Eaters have these things in their skull that makes it so they are compelled to violence. Even if they don't want to fight anybody, these nails start digging and causing them to go deeper and deeper into rage until they cannot help the fight. So they are required by their own torment to keep fighting. They have to keep fighting, or they go into agony, which is exactly what the orcs were feeling. They couldn't stop, they couldn't sit, they couldn't relax, they had to fight, and they started fighting each other.
Kind of like Death Knights.
How?
No, because Death Knights are compelled to violence, and yeah, they are. No, like the Arthas, when he first made them, he made them so that they have to do slaughter, have to do genocide.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yes, okay, we'll go with that. But so that is what finally frees them. That's what finally puts it to rest. They are still corrupted. That is why the devs at Blizzard have never allowed an orc to become a priest or a paladin, is because the demon corruption inside of them makes it so the light will not go anywhere close to them. The corrupted orcs cannot use the light at all. The light flees from them as much as possible. That has always been the lore reason, even if that doesn't even make any sense, because especially what we're seeing nowadays with purified fucking demons. Whatever, alright? So, that is why...
Maybe it's the Magthar orcs.
The Magthar orcs, the data mine is showing that they can become priests, which, spoiler, is retarded. Because, as explained within the lore, I'm talking Chronicle, and everything we've ever learned about the World of Warcraft, is that even the orcs that didn't drink the demon blood to go crazy, just by hanging out near the orc that made you fucking crazy, became green and corrupted just by being in proximity of the other orcs. So, which of course they're not going to, because I'm sure they didn't think this far about it, but according to their own lore, just by uncorrupted orcs hanging out with corrupted orcs, will become corrupted orcs.
But the Magthar are the orcs from Draenor.
Doesn't matter, because the green fell got infused with a disease that the ogres created. According to lore.
No, I'm saying...
The ogres created a disease called the Red Plague. Gul'dan used the Red Plague to corrupt it. And so, before the orcs drank the demon blood, they had green patches.
But these are the different orcs altogether from a different...
But it's an orcish disease. So, the fact that you didn't drink demon blood, by hanging out with other orcs that did drink the demon blood, even if they're from a different dimension, are still orcs. And still, that other dimension had the Red Plague, because it was created by the ogres. So they are still susceptible. So, at the end of the day, uncorrupted orcs will become corrupted by hanging out with corrupted orcs. That is what the lore says. Sorry, Magthar orcs will eventually become corrupted orcs. And therefore, until they change the lore, and until they change what they've established, could never be priests. And how would they be priests anyways? It's never even, I'm not even gonna get to it. Like
the Draenei.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking make a Magthar orc, you're gonna make a priest, and your paladin, your priest trainer is gonna be a fucking Draenei?
Because they got all friendly at the end of Warlords of Draenor.
Whatever, dude. I'm just saying. Am I excited that we get to be fucking Magthar orcs? Sure, why not? Why? I love the fucking tattoo options. I love all the different customizations.
Which clan are you gonna make?
Oh, fuck. What clan do you think I'm gonna make?
Shatterhand?
Laughing motherfucking skull. All day. All day. Laughing skull. Gotta be everything. So when you go to Orgrimmar, right here, the major harbor of Orgrimmar. Alright, so, summarize. Demons make the Horde. Horde go through portal. Horde
do horrible things.
They already did the horrible things on their side. They do horrible things on the other side. Ogrim Doomhammer says, wait a minute.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. says, fuck it, we're not doing this shit anymore because it's bad. It stops him from doing it, gets defeated, Horde gets crushed. So, the Horde is never a good thing from the get-go. So when Ogrim goes to Thrall and starts teaching him everything, he starts telling him how great the Horde is, when he himself doesn't even believe this. And tells him, oh man, these people were so great, your father, really great. When you read Chronicle, all you find out about Durotan is that Durotan is that A, didn't drink the demon blood, B, didn't think the Horde was a good idea, and as soon as the portal was open, ran away with all the Frostwolf clans, guided by the spirits to go live in something, Alterac Valley?
Alterac.
A little pocket of Alterac Valley where they don't really get bothered. And then, while hanging out with his old buddy Ogrim, before he takes over the Horde, gets murdered by Gul'dan and the mother and a few other people. They don't all. The clan stays right where it's at. Drakthar stays where he's at, but his father, Thrall's father and mother get killed by Gul'dan's people.
Why didn't Durotan try to open diplomatic talks with the various races of Azeroth since they kind of just fucked off with the Horde? I would.
There was a good reason for that. When you read Chronicle, you'll see that while all this is going on, things are becoming a very totalitarian,
Yeah.
whatever.
Totalitarian.
Where people who don't obey and comply are dying and disappearing. They're getting murdered and silenced one by one. So he keeps his head down, goes along with what the Horde does, and as soon as he has the option to break free, gets the fuck away.
No, but he does. He breaks free. No.
Yeah.
He goes up north.
And hides from the Horde, who are conquering everything. Don't forget how much the Horde really fucking stomped the Alliance in that first fucking war.
So just trying to throw your lot with them, probably not a good idea.
Just said, nah, I'm gonna hide out, I'm gonna stay right here. Stay right here. It's cool. We're good. You guys do what you're doing. We're gonna hang out here. We're gonna find the spirits and become cool with them again on this side because those whatever. We're cool. But anyways, boom. Ogrim gets defeated. Stops the demon worship and all the rest of the shady, crazy shit that's going on. Just goes straight to being a warlike people like they've always been. Gets captured. Breaks free. Frees the orcs one by one. Starts a rebellion. Blah blah blah. Words. Thrall.
But by the time Thrall rolls around, it's not even the same. It's really not the same Horde, because
It's not a horde. It's not this demon-inspired horde.
because the Horde still had a lot of like clan identity.
Mm-hmm.
Then you kind of have a sense with the current Horde that the clan identity is gone because it's about the people who've forgotten this stuff.
Well, the shit's crazy to me because, okay, so here I am going over to Blade Fist, which is one dock people. Look at our glorious horde.
Maybe expand upon that.
Yeah, maybe expand. Here we go. Here we are in Blade Fist Bay. The wonderful.
Stormwind has a nice bay.
This is where we stormed Ogrimmar and go. This is our great harbor. Right here. So, Blade Fist Bay, named after Kargrath Blade Fist, who, according to lore, was one of the original members of the Shadow Council.
Those guys were great.
He was the guy that you would send on anything that you wanted. If you needed something dead, and you didn't want to make other people sad about it, you sent him because he didn't give a shit. He would kill anybody and anything without question. He didn't give a shit. But they keep calling him a hero. So much for that Thrall is inspired enough to be like, oh, this is Blade Fist Blade, named after the great hero Kargrath Blade Fist, which murdered children and burned down villages, and he became the.
He's a stereotypical evil dude who would go.
He drank the demon blood again, became the new war chief of the Fell Horde on the other side of Outland.
That was the only remnant of probably the original Horde left.
Yeah. Good guy.
Sure.
Great guy.
As he ran through, cackling through a village while everything burns and throwing sacks of puppies into rivers and murdering babies in their cribs.
Okay, to give you a reminder, do I have time to go over there? I think I should. I'm gonna do this.
Where?
We're gonna go hang out with nobody for a second.
I could throw portals.
Not to where I need to go. We're gonna go to Warsaw Gold in Outland and listen to our old buddy Sorafang talk about reminiscing about the good old times of the Horde. Shall we? Let's go talk to him, huh? Let's go hang out with our buddy and see if we catch him in a good loop when he's talking about how great the Horde was. I mean, I say this sarcastically because the Horde was terrible. It really, really was. And the whole time he's telling him, hey dude, you need to calm the fuck down because if you start going too nuts, you're gonna be just like the way we used to be. Hey dude, I can't listen to them slaughtering pigs because it sounds like murdered children. This is a dude that has a hard time with what he was. He's not having a good time. Not at all. And so he's the guy who constantly has been like, dude, we shouldn't do this. This is fucked up. Because guess what? He has hardcore PTSD from being the butcher of children. Little drain-eye kids. Little you guys stay here.
Possibly humans.
Oh, definitely humans, for sure.
Because, they did totally annihilate Stormwind.
Yeah,
That's not even the original Stormwind that's standing.
Yeah, no. Horde is back.
Yeah.
And so we got, and there, even Gromash, not Gromash, Garrosh, no, Gromash. He had a hat on for hard on Kargroth too. Kargroth. Because he names his stronghold inside of his little forest stronghold Kargroth-ish hold.
Kargroth hold?
No, it's not Kargroth. It's Kargroth. They put a L or ish and ish, or whatever the fuck at the end of it. Kargrothi hold.
Kargrothi hold.
Yeah.
Take notes because this gets a little weird in pronunciation.
Yeah, Kargrothi hold. This awesome butcher. Cool guy.
Great guy.
You must have
humanitarian of the year.
You must have had to hang out with him just to understand that while he wasn't flossing his teeth with the bones of drain-eyed children, he was out there,
He was probably one hell of a party animal or something.
Yeah, he was just doing cool things, Yeah. Fucking good times. Okay, so they name a blade, they name a fortress, they name all kinds of shit after our good friend Kargroth. And the only reason, this is a dude that Thrall never fucking met. Somebody had to tell him that this was a great dude, along with the Horde.
I'm pretty sure Thrall actually met him, but no.
If Thrall ever did meet him, he would have had two blades for hands.
Why did I name a bay after you?
Yeah. And they even talk about it. Like, I forget where or when, but at one point in game they're like, oh, well, let's not forget all the things he did before, and what he did at the end of his life should not be focused upon. Do all the great
just
things.
Focus on everything he did.
Did he
while
fucking
he was
have
alive.
little goddamn charities and shit? Did he fucking have an Orc Make-A-Wish Foundation and fucking, oh, I brought you this baby Draenei so you can kill a dying child. Like, what? Kargroth, let me murder some babies. I brought some. Like, what the fuck? What made him such a hero? And I tried looking this up. I looked at every single different Wikipedia talking about how great of a hero, and the only thing they keep going back to, was the fact that when he got fucked over in the arena, and instead of winning his freedom after killing 100 orcs, 100, Zayt is already a butcher. After killing 100 orcs, he was supposed to get his freedom. He didn't get his freedom, removed his own hand, and inspired other orcs who were also slaves in the gladiatory arena to do the same thing. He was a fucking orc Spartacus. That's it. That's the great thing he did, which I'm not saying isn't badass and awesome,
No.
but that is it. That's what we're talking about here.
Because I know, like, he was used to do all the assassination, dirty jobs. He used very into, like, was he also really into poisons and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Which poisons are very not.
No, he doesn't. He's into ritual scarification and pain. He has some bad fetishes, bro.
No, I'm just saying, like.
So yeah, good guy.
Great guy.
I want to hang out with him. And what also makes me laugh that people are all bitching. I remember when we killed him as the first raid boss, you know, and he looked so awesome. I'm so sad that he died, but at the same time, we killed him as a dungeon boss when we went
Raid.
No, not a raid boss. At first,
Oh, yeah.
the first time we kill him, he is just a dungeon boss. Oh yeah, here we go. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the good times. Reminisce. And go ahead and just look on.
You will serve the Horde, or be crushed beneath it!
There's something for you to look at. Well, we're talking about how great this is. Yeah. Good shit. Good shit. And then a bunch of shit is also named after Hellscream.
They're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just listen. Did they actually have voice lines
There
for
was
this?
there was something, I don't know, I heard something.
When the curse of the winter curse was lifted, our minds were free to relieve all of the unthinkable acts we performed and influence. I think it's the sound of the Draenei children that unnerved most of them. You never forget. Have you been to Jagged Swine Farm when the swine of age are for the slaughter? That's the sound. That's the sound of swine being killed. It resonates the loudest. Those are the hard times for us veterans. I'm not slowly speaking of the children of our enemies. Jesus, what?
Yeah, so this is the original. He's talking to the original Horde.
God damn. I never even saw that part before. Oh my god. Jesus. I don't eat pork. Oh god. Oh Jesus. God damn it. Jesus fuck, dude. Yeah. So when Thrall goes around saying the Horde, this is what he is instantly reminding everybody of. I mean, if he wanted to call, because the decimated Horde is now the size of a clan. If he took the time to rename it
Anything.
we're the Doomhammer clan. We'll take a nod for the Alliance, the Sons of Doomhammer. Would make so much more sense and be okay, because Doomhammer represented them trying to be better than what they had become, even under being balls deep in demon rage. They still were trying to gain some semblance of what they were. No. Calls himself the Horde.
And probably the various, like, actual combatants from the Alliance side probably had a little bit of a flashback, and I would
okay.
that
If
would
somebody
trigger
went
an
around
episode
saying-
for them.
Okay, so if Germany was like, you know what, we're the new Nazis.
Yeah. Any World War II vets would probably be like,
What?
any living World War II vets were like, probably take a moment, like, probably.
We are the new USSR.
Yeah.
We're friends.
No.
We're cool, guys.
No, we're not.
We're the glorious Empire of Japan.
Oh, no.
There's a reason for rebranding, folks. And it's that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Thrall is under the impression And the game really makes Thrall look like a fucking idiot.
Well, he was young, so...
It doesn't... Well, the fact that he stayed that way, even after he goes through Outland and he learns the truth about everything, hanging out with his grandma...
But the damage has already been done by that time.
The damage has already been done, but you don't have to keep encouraging it.
Yeah.
And then... Oh my god.
He goes around, and the same crap that was shoved down his throat, he does it to Garrosh.
And, well, that's not even the worst of it. Garrosh is a guy who's been fed the glories of the old clans. He knows the Horde was a bad thing. Because, what does he do? He hates his father. He hears about how his father was a crazy butcher, drank demon blood, and condemned all of his people to death. So he hated his father until Thrall comes through and says, "Hey, dude, your father was awesome.
No,
He drank demon blood again. He murdered a bunch of elves. He burned down a forest, killed the demigod.
You know, stuff that good people do.
But after we kicked his ass, and I decided to go for a walk with him down a valley with all sorts of demon shit all around us, we came across the dude that started this whole bloodlust thing, and we killed him. He kind of died.
Saving my life.
Saved my life. Best dude ever. Just because you just so happen to be the first dude to drink the demon blood, and just so happen to be the dude that killed the dude that gave you the blood, doesn't mean it excuses everything in between.
But also killing a demigod also really screwed things over.
That didn't help.
No.
It didn't help with the Night Elf relation camp, that's for sure.
No. Then, let's just cut down these trees indiscriminately.
Well, that's what he was told to do.
Yeah.
Granted, he went to it a 10th degree that he wasn't expecting.
I'm sure if Thrall saw oh shit, these people are getting pissed off. Why? Oh, they're living in these trees. Maybe
the problem was, and he was still a wild maniac at that point because he had to take. He said, "Warsong clan, go hang out over there.
Just stay there.
Stay there. Go gather us some wood. We're gonna go do this thing with the Tauren because we kind of just met them and don't want to piss them off. Just hang out. Just be cool. We're gonna go make friends. We're gonna take the new friends of our new troll buddies, and we're gonna go hang out with our new Tauren buddies."
The best way is was it in Dust from Dawn? He's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
From Dust from Dawn.
Yeah. Yeah. You be cool. And so he's
And
like,
he
well,
can't
we
be
got
cool.
told to cut some wood. Cut everything down. Everything. Oh, there's elves in here? Fuck it. Kill them too. Oh, wait. We're having a hard time? Demon just popped up. Dude, demon blood's the shit. Drink that shit, homie. Telling you dudes. Do it.
Oh.
And so when Thrall returns with his buddies, he's like, fuck.
Maybe
We have to go kill these. We have to go kill them now.
Maybe we should have left someone behind to make sure they didn't get into too much trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
Thrall, you should have left someone there. You should have left the babysitter. Because...
Maybe you could have just left the Warsong clan to chop wood and just left Gromosh right by your side, being like, no, bad Gromosh. Okay.
Grom. Was this called
Gromish. Grom. No, Grom, stay here. Bad Grom.
Grom. Because he was
Grom.
called Grom at the time.
Yep, Grom.
Then later at Warlords of Draenor, he gets rebranded as Gromosh.
Yep.
So, I still call him Grom.
Yeah, so good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, we get a lot of Durotar the Deserter. We get a lot of Blade Fist the Butcher. We get a lot of
Rom.
Hell Scream things going on. And none of these guys were awesome warriors. Did a lot of really cool, awesome. Damn, that's some sweet. Fuck, that's awesome. Shit. But at the same time, not somebody I would like to name. I'm not going to put a monument to these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I still think especially with Thrall's later attempt at diplomacy.
Because what Thrall creates is completely
different.
Completely different. No Death Knights, no Warlocks. He brings back Shamans. He brings back the Wolf Riders. He brings back all of the old elements, pre-demonic Horde. Shouldn't be called the Horde.
No.
Not at all.
No.
No. fuck off with your horde, dude. But of course they're not going to do that, because if Warcraft 3, you're controlling the sons of fucking Doomhammer instead of playing the horde. People are going to be scratching their heads.
Why is it called the Horde?
What happened to the horde? The orcs, right? The orcs are the horde. It's what it is.
Yeah, I would say.
So the idea that people would have a hard time. Well,
I would say.
I okay. So now we're gonna change gears here. We're gonna talk about people in general and the diehards of the horde and the Alliance. I'm a horde dude all day, but my reasons for being a horde dude probably very different than most people's. One, the horde, if you look at the races individually, have more complexity, more conflict, more realism as a race with people with issues and things going on than the Alliance does. The Alliance is wonderbread as fuck. You got if you took the staple generic fantasy element,
Human paladins. Come on, that's.
and you just threw them to the side. You got. I mean, on the Alliance side, the only people with any real sort of like flavor, the dwarves. I like the dwarves' story because they have conflict, they have issue, they have struggle. They have 3 different clans that are all having a hard time with their stuff, and that's interesting.
But that's only their like probably post Cataclysm, so.
And that's only their post Cataclysm. But they still had the issue with the Dark Iron. It's not like the fucking Wildhammer were BFFs. They were there.
Yeah.
They were kind of neutral, but they were there. So you didn't have this unified front of wonderbreadness that still didn't make any sense. So they had a conflict there. That was interesting. But there was no real hostility in between the different factions of the Alliance. I mean, I'm not even going to go into how the Alliance is allied. We've already done a whole video about that.
Yeah.
But there's just not a lot of conflict, man. It's like, it's boring to me. It's boring. And then when you look at the different races of the Horde, you got the Tauren, who are like basically Native Americans. That's interesting.
Yeah.
You got the Orcish Horde, which are a combo. Basically, think of they're mostly like the Mongolian hordes under Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. You got the Trolls, which are a weird smash up of they say voodoo, but basically any sort of
Caribbean.
island culture, because you got any deep jungle, because they talk in a Jamaican accents, which is ridiculous. They talk about voodoo a lot, which is a culture that's kind of built up after from the African slave trade. So you have combination elements of weird elements of Christianity and voodoo. You have old native African superstitions smashed in there. And it's not like these slaves that were brought there were all brought there from the same place. So all the different religions and all the different superstitions and all the different practices became a weird hybrid and became voodoo. That's interesting. And so their trolls are cannibals. So you got the deepest, darkest Africa in there. You also got like the headhunters of the Amazon.
I don't think the Amazon's the headhunters. I think it's some part of Asia. I remember because the Japanese had a deal with that during World War II. Okay.
Well, yeah, they're whatever. But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's something interesting there.
Indonesia, I think?
Like there's a culture that I'm not 100% familiar with, and so it's like when you see what their in-game representation of, that's kind of weird. That's interesting, right?
Yeah.
To me, at least. Then you have the elves, the blood elves, who were a people that were high lofty, and they got brought low. And they got brought so low that they had to go make friends with people they deemed to be wild, savage animals. And they have an addiction problem, and that's interesting to me. Not so much on the Alliance side. You got humans who are just like, ha, I do the disco and I praise the light. Ha, 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 ha. All the
They
day.
could have really tried to play up the they just rebuilt aspect.
Well, when you,
Because
I
it's
haven't,
supposed
I
to-
haven't made a human in a really long time, but I remember back in vanilla when you made a human, it said you are a race that is on the brink of extinction.
No,
you
but-
are the last humans.
No, I'm just saying they could have really played that out more.
Yeah.
But they totally just abandoned that after like Cataclysm.
Mm-hmm. Well, because then you start fighting more and more humans. You got Gilnates, you got Tokaras, you got, for some reason, a lot of dudes over at Theramore. You got, humans are anything but going extinct. The Draenei, space traveling goats of. That's one thing that I've seen on message boards. Sorry, this is a kind of a tangent, but one thing I've seen on message boards is how like, oh my god, the orcs are a bunch of alien invaders from another planet. Why would anybody ever parlay with them? I saw that on a post once. I've seen that on a few posts, and it's like, dude, you're hanging out with the space goat right next to you, and you want to talk about alien invaders. If it weren't for the space goats, y'all motherfuckers probably would never have been invaded by the orcs. You would never have a reason to hate them.
There would be no Warcraft.
And I'm not blaming I'm not blaming the Draenei because they got hunted. But if they weren't on that planet, they never would have.
Come across the orcs.
Yeah, never would have happened. They would just probably lived out their lives unnoticed by the rest of the universe.
Then until like the Legion goes on its rampage and just probably just burned out Draenor without even a second thought.
Anyway, so you got so this is the wonderfully complex alliance. Gnomes. The only conflict is they lost their city. That's the big gnome conflict.
Oh, and according to them, is they're so get wrapped up in their own thing. Sometimes they forget to actually breed. So it's
So they lost their big city.
oh,
That's exciting.
and they could go
Got the
extinct at any
dwarves, I've already
moment.
mentioned them. That's kind of interesting. They got the humans. Why the fuck are a nearly extinct race of flesh monsters leading everything? I don't know, but whatever. We're not going to get into it. You got the night elves, who are the most. Hey.
The Night Elves, who, why the hell are they there? They should be their own thing. Well, the Dwarves we talked about a bit.
Yeah, we talked about the night elves in the last video, but yeah, they shouldn't even be there. They
Yeah,
should
why-
be off
why-
on their
why
own.
they're- why-
Why are they even fucking there? They're just shoehorned because Wonder Bread needs their elves,
And they weren't ready to put in High Elves yet.
still not. Probably never happened.
There-
Anyways,
There's a video from Talius and
yeah, I saw that. It's pretty great.
and also right after we did our
right after we did our video,
I'm like, damn it.
yeah, it's all right. It's all good. He did it way better than we'll ever do, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. Oh, Gilneas was interesting. Gilneas was really cool. I am sad that I can't play as a werewolf in the Horde because I just hate the Alliance. It's so boring, and I mean it's cool that they finally got some flavor, and they have so much flavor that they're kind of driving the narrative of the Alliance's side of the conflict. They drove the narrative throughout all of Legion for why they're in conflict because Glenn doesn't like soul fights.
Yeah.
You take away all the other elements. People can argue that all day, but they are what Blizzard is using as the plot device push forward to keep the Alliance really invested in the Horde war throughout Legion. And then Glenn is also right beside Anduin.
Yeah.
So, they're the most interesting. They have the most recent big gripe with the Horde. And so that's the only thing they're really pushing forward. And then they burn down Theramore. Theramore? They're just the corrupted Night Elf tree.
Touch yourself.
Which you would think they would use to get the Night Elves really on board. You would think that they would use this event, which I hope they do. Doesn't look like it. I hope they use this to make the elves interesting again. I don't see it happening.
No.
Because now they have a really good reason.
They're refugees.
They're refugees. Just like the Gilneans. The Gilneans were refugees. Now they're refugees.
The Gilneans wouldn't be refugees then.
Yes, they would.
Not about after battle.
Yes, they would. Well, if they repopulate Gilneas, which they haven't, there's no real indication. Because on the old world, I'm hoping for a real big map change. Like, I would love to see them repopulate Gilneas because it's in ruins. It would just make sense. You find you quote unquote took back Lordaeron.
From what I understand, that's not going to happen.
You took it back. It makes sense. The World Tree is burned down. Where are the Night Elves going to go? It would make sense that the Gilneans would take them in because they took them in.
Yeah.
Reciprocation. It's all good. Whatever. I don't know. But moving forward, man. Listen. I mean, of course, there's going to be a shit ton of focus on the 2 new leveling zones. All the stuff that's going to happen is going to happen on those, except for the war fronts.
That would be kind of cool to just put flare up hot spots throughout the world. Like Alliance is trying to retake port cities in Kalendor, and we're going to have to repel them.
Maybe the Night Elves can finally build a city that's not full of corruption.
Yeah.
Maybe they can. Maybe they can do that for us. How about
what about that portal in was it Darkshire? For the Emerald Dream portal, and there's all that night elfy shit around there. Why can't they set up shop there?
Well, I mean, they got a lot of places they can go, but in Warcraft 3 they never showed a capital city because they were supposed to be tree-dwelling
Hippies.
Think of Galadriel in Lord of the Rings. Is her name Galadriel? Whatever the fuck her name is. You got the elf of the woods. They were tree people. And so, whatever. And we never really saw that. So they kind of had to make something. And so they said, I know, let's grow another big tree. And we'll put the city on top of a tree that they decided to grow out of nowhere.
But should Suramar, since that opened up, be everyone should be looking at at least the Night Elves should be this was our home at one point.
No, because, obviously, with their capital city, it defeats the whole lore point. But they were supposed to just be tree-dwelling people.
Yeah.
And so... whatever. I'm not even going to try to fucking rationalize why they don't have... They should have fucking capital cities all over the goddamn place, considering that they ruled the whole goddamn world. But whatever. They apparently decided to say, you know what? Civilizations aren't good. We're going to embrace Druidism, and we're going to start living in holes and trees.
Which is really,
And then have a capital city?
I think this should be a video for another topic.
Who knows?
Talk about what's Night Elves. Why?
Why? What the fuck? And these guys do have a lot of really cool lore. They have a lot of really cool story, but it's never really put together well. And I really want to see, because now they've hinted that there's going to be a battle between Saurfang and Malfurion. And that Saurfang,
it's a weird fight.
Gets rescued. He almost gets murdered, and then he gets rescued at the last minute by Sylvanas. So it looks like, I don't know, man.
That's a weird. Why they? I mean, they haven't had any past history about any beef.
Well, no, because
Saurfang and
so from what I've seen of the, not just Tatumite.
Unless Malfurion has gone total ballistic mode after the burning of Tedrassil.
So it's not just a surprise attack on Tedrassil. There is going to be a whole dark. What the fuck's that zone called? So I don't know if Darkshore. There's going to be a whole Darkshore campaign where the Horde is pushing in, and then finally.
That's the concept art.
No. Well, because the concept art, people are left a lot of questions, being like, "Oh, what's going to happen? Is this a surprise attack? Did they just burn it out of nowhere?" No, it's a big offensive, and there's things for both sides. You go in as the Alliance, you try to fight the Horde, you try to push them back, and as the Horde, you try to push in, and then eventually, the tree will burn. But during the conflict, before the tree, well, I don't know when, but eventually, you're going to go in, and there's going to be a novella that they're going to be releasing about Sorrowfind versus Malfurion, and from the snippet that I saw, it looks really cool. They're like, there's graphic art, there's pictures, not graphic art, there's drawings, it's art accompanying with it, so it's legit. So I'm pretty excited about that, see how that goes. And I don't want to speculate anymore. I don't want to see any more misdirection. I just want to see what the new expansion is going to be.
We'll have to wait a bit.
I'm going to wait a bit because, like, I told myself that I wasn't going to look at all the shit, that I wasn't going to watch videos, but it's all that's on the fucking internet right now.
Yeah.
It's videos about, so what I'm hoping is going to happen is I'm going to watch the video, be not impressed, and forget about it. So when it really does happen, I can be kind of surprised again.
Yeah. Then, well, then we have to wait until, was it before the storm?
Storm, yep. So,
I think we're getting off topic here.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, last week we
Horde.
talked about the Alliance. This week we talked about the Horde. And so, the natural conclusion is Horde versus Alliance.
Yeah.
But this video
It's
is
not even the original Horde versus the original Alliance.
No, these are completely different organizations, completely different parties, completely different people. And, yeah,
This is a generational conflict at this point, and it's grandchildren fighting the grandchildren.
It's people in the Appalachian Mountains feuding over what family did what to each other, and they don't even really remember the original conflict.
And it's still going on to this day.
Yeah. Some people remember because there are people that are still there, like Sarfin, like Glenn, Green,
Yeah.
who wasn't even there from the beginning, but like. Fucking poster troll, the High Exarch of the Army of the Light,
Tyrillian.
He was there in the first one. Aurelian, there in the first one. Sylvanas,
Yeah.
was there in the first one. Pretty much everybody in Lordaeron. I mean, Hundred City.
Yeah.
But yes, that's a topic for another time. That's a lore debate for another week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, words should be do. Have a nice day.